10-minute drill
This is a big one.
is brought to you by All Pro Roofing on 1010XL.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Hit it. All right, sports concepts and rationalizations. We do it each and every day. We call it the 10-minute drill. Beef has an unabridged passion today that I really like. I'm impressed.
Wow.
I'm cranked up, man. I'm
Yeah.
excited.
You are.
I'm excited to be
Give
here.
the kid a 3-day weekend, and this is what you'd get.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, would
Cushion
be.
day Monday?
If we're
I
off
was thinking
every
about taking
Monday,
Tuesday.
every Friday would have this kind of enthusiasm and passion. It's hard in today's day and age to discover the most egotistical, narcissistic person in the world, but I will offer up my
Beef, play the open.
Did you finally discover that it was Dan that wrote his own Rate My Professor review?
Well, I'm going to go to. I think I have found that person, and apparently he is a booster of the Pitt University football program.
Pitt Panthers.
This is an all-timer, dude. And by the way, Pitt, shame on you.
Hugh Green, Dan
Go
Marino.
away. Go away.
What
Go
happened?
away, Pitt.
Tell us more.
Pitt, you suck. That you would accept this. You should be banished to never win another football game. Pitt Panthers head coach Pat Narduzzi got a new job title yesterday, Hick. Instead of being the head coach of Pitt football, Narduzzi will now be known as the Chris Bickle 97 head football coach. Seriously. The University of Pitt announced a massive $20 million donation by alumnus Chris Bickle, who, as you might have guessed, graduated from the school in 1997. It was the largest donation in the university's history. That money will go toward improving the football team at Pitt and its players. Half the money has already been allocated to a new training facility, yada, yada, yada. Given the size of the donation, Pitt will also rename the head football coach position in honor of Bickle.
That is.
The school announcing in recognition of Bickle's historic gift, the head football coaching position at Pitt will be named the Chris Bickle 97 head football coach. This is the first named coaching position in the history of Pitt athletics or in the
That
history of
is
common sense.
Tremendous.
Hey, Pitt, GTH, you stupid baboons. You guys are so dumb.
Can't we get like a...
What are we doing, man?
I'd like to have
I quit, dude.
I'd like to have my name on something Gatory.
Yeah, it's called a building or a facility or a...
Yeah.
What? How much?
I don't know if I want it on a coach, because if the coach goes bad, then they got to keep saying your name.
It's just terrible.
So what was your graduation year, Dan?
By the way, let me tell you how this is going to work, Chris Bickle, you J.A. This is how it's going to work. Okay, Beth Mallins will be doing the Pitt game because that's the only kind of games she does.
I like Beth Mullins.
So, yeah, she's
I don't like you
awful.
to do
That she had that voice the other day, buddy, about put a bullet in my head.
I like Beth.
Yeah,
think
she's
she does a
fine
good job.
except for that incredibly annoying voice. It just it takes away from everything else that she might be able to do.
Sounds like you feel like... I'm sorry.
Well,
So,
anyway,
Hick, how much cash do you think would be to be like the Dan Hicken 85 SID?
Yeah.
yeah.
can't
I'll never
afford-
talk to
I
you
can't
again.
afford
So
the
it'd be a
coach.
double win for you because I'll never
That's what
talk to you
I'm
again
saying.
if you do that.
Well, that would hurt the show.
Well, that would be a big win for you.
I've reached out to the Dan Hicken 85 SIV, Chet Tompkins.
But my point is this. Here's what's going to happen. Do you think that when, game day, hey, let's get a look at Pitt head coach, Narduzzi walking in. Do you think they're going to go, oh, there's the Chris Bickle 97 Pitt football coach, Pat Narduzzi? No, they're not. So I don't know who this Chris Bickle cat is. I immediately can't stand this guy. I mean, when you ask, because of your money, to put your name on another man, it's one thing if you want to put it on the playbook, the parking lot, the concession stand, the scoreboard, put it anywhere. You go put it on another man? Yeah, that's weak.
What about the ball coach? What if ball coach,
Still weak.
Jeff Prosser,
Weaker.
Steve Spurrier, ambassador?
Weaker.
No?
Yeah, even weaker because he's actually accomplished something unlike Narduzzi. So, Beef, do we still have that clip? Is there any way in the world we have that clip from Dave Wanstead?
Oh, hell yes, we do.
All right, here's what I'm going to say, Dan, about this, okay? We have now learned officially that Dave Wanstead, and by the way, he could go 1-15 every year as a coach, and we could classify him as a much better coach than journalist. Let me tell you why.
Oh, Dave Wanstead is a former coach.
Of course.
In many different...
Sure.
Yeah.
Dolphins, Bears,
Yeah.
Pitt Panthers.
Probably was at his
He
best.
was the Chris
as
Bickle 97 Pitt Panthers head coach at one point.
Probably at his
He was.
best when he was an assistant. Did have 2 11-5s and a 10-6 with Miami.
Well, that's pretty good by Miami
Yeah.
standards for sure.
Didn't win a playoff
Well,
game.
he's also now involved in the
one.
media, and he's on studio shows, and he said very authoritatively what was going to happen to the Big 12 when he was on a radio show now 2-3 weeks ago, and it went
It
something
sounds
like this.
Oklahoma State and Kansas State are going to the Pac-12.
No.
So that's done.
No.
It sounds
No.
like West Virginia is going to end up in the ACC,
no.
which
Think
would make
so.
sense with Virginia, Pitt. And
No.
it sounds like
No.
Iowa State and Kansas.
Okay.
They're the two schools that are going to probably join the Big Ten here locally.
I'm not sure.
Yeah,
You
no.
are fake news.
Yeah, no, that didn't happen either.
Oh, no. What happened?
Well, now there are reports out that the Big 12 isn't disbanding at all, and they're going to go on the offensive, and it looks like they found their 4 targets.
Okay.
And I just don't – here's my question. Does this still maintain its status as a Power 5 conference? Here is who it is reported they are going to add.
Okay.
And it would include all of those UCF fans that would like to step up onto a bigger stage.
Okay.
As the Big 12 continues to consider expansion, there are 4 leading candidates that have emerged, and some sources are telling ESPN formal invitations will be extended during this college football season. Those 4 schools are UCF, Cincinnati, BYU, and Houston, which would probably be the best 4 non-Power 5 you could get, except maybe Boise,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And so they would.
You get Orlando, you get Houston. Those are big markets.
Cincinnati's not
The
tiny.
Natties, yeah, I think the Natties well deserved. And who's the 4th one?
Houston, UCF,
Yeah.
Cincinnati, and BYU.
BYU would be the 4th one.
So, look, it would add to this Texas-centric lead now, right? They've got Baylor. They've got TCU.
Yeah.
I thought maybe SMU would be. Beef and I tossed around a fun idea when this all broke. Why not just make an all-Texas conference? TCU, SMU.
That would be a little arrogant.
Houston. Well, I mean, it would work. There's enough schools there. The Big 12 is considering all 4 of these schools, and they also considered them in 2016.
Would they include Dallas Baptist?
No. They could have in the old system, the one that we were talking about, the hypothetical one.
That's what I meant.
UCF, Cincinnati, and Houston now would be doing to the AAC what got done to the Big 12, and that's why this argument, that came out of the Big 12 and just how calamitous it was and how, combustible. Here they are. They don't have a problem going and ripping these schools from other conferences.
Right.
That's what annoyed me about that whole narrative.
Right. Yeah.
So,
That's fair.
And I think many thought that the Big 12 schools would kind of go off in their own directions. Now, had they done, maybe Wanstead is right, and maybe those 5 or 6 schools mentioned could go on, and that would leave these 4 with TCU, with Baylor.
If you're any of the 4 coming in, you need to have assurances that everybody's staying.
And because, by the way, everyone staying is no good. I mean, they did not leave a premier football program behind. At best, you got like a 20th ranked team. I mean,
yeah.
I guess Baylor has flashed, maybe Iowa State's flashed, but none of those are perennial contenders at all ever.
No.
They're never in any consideration for.
They should be Power 5 teams.
They should.
Yeah.
They should.
Oklahoma State should not be.
No, nor Kansas.
Yeah.
Baylor, DCU, even.
Baylor won a natty in hoops.
All right, just 10 minutes ago.
Right.
Right.
This
Well,
past
anyway,
year.
so I'm really looking. I'll be honest with you. To me, this is more for the.
Okay.
For UCF fan. This
Have
would be a
you-
huge move for UCF.
Oh, yeah.
To F. Now, again, do they get the same Power 5 status as these other 4 leagues?
Well, that's a great question.
I don't know.
That's a great question. You've played a lot of golf in your life.
I have.
Many rounds of golf, and you've watched a lot of golf. I never saw a butterfly chase a ball before.
Yeah, that was cool. Brooks Koepka had a putt yesterday.
I almost felt like the little fella wanted to push it in the hole.
Felt so wholesome.
If you want to be,
I would like a little bit of.
if you want to be from sticking with golf, if you want to be amazed by the depth of thought and communication in a statement about a current issue, you could not be more shocked about who it came from. Did you happen to see Patrick Cantlay's
Yes, I did.
response on? Wow, how well thought out and said that was. It
I
just
thought
shocked
he
me because
wrote
it's-
it.
Right, that's what everyone thought. But it wasn't a written statement. It was just, off the cuff. And he just hit on a ton of good points. And, he kind of summed it up in about a
You're talking
a
about,
minute.
for those who you're talking about,
PGA kicking fans out for Bryson.
yeah, they're kind of looking out for Bryson a little bit, helping him out. He's struggling a little bit with some of the stuff, and the PGA Tour's basically said enough. And Cantlay had a good argument because there's a little bit of me that says, come on, dude, bow up. But he makes some good points, some valid points. I thought. Patrick
For
Cantlay.
sure.
Yeah.
No, he said the golf is not a sport. You have an intimacy with sport, and it's just not the kind of sport for that kind of behavior. And then he went into why, and he's right. The social media, this thing did ratchet up when the PGA Tour decided that you're going to get bonuses based on your social media presence. It did. The Bryson Brooks thing ratcheted up when the PGA Tour did that. So I think Cantlay pointed that out, man. You got some attention seekers on tour. Sometimes that can be good or bad.
Right.
And say what you want.
I think Rory also said, look, it's Bryson brings some of this on himself, but it is tough being Bryson DeChambeau right now.
What are the examples of him, quote, bringing it on himself, other than he's just a nerd that no one likes? What has he done? I mean, I follow it pretty closely. I don't know what he's done that would be, unless they just think he's, quote, weird and arrogant. But that's not bringing it on yourself. That's just the dude's personality. There are plenty of those guys in PGA Tour history didn't take the beating that Bryson has. I guess he's trying to play the Brooks Koepka game.
Did Patrick Reed take a beating for a while?
Yeah.
Did he bring it on himself?
Yeah.
What's the difference?
He cheated. He's a cheater.
Okay, but there was other things too. We were all over him after the Masters because
some people were. I took up for him. It's none of his business. None of people's business what his relationship with his family. What do we know?
Yeah.
I mean, they took his. What bothered me about that is they took Patrick Reed's Masters title and they made it all about what a terrible person he is, which I didn't think was fair. But anyway, I don't know. It just what surprised me most about what Patrick Cantlay said is who said it. This guy's had the personality of the digital clock sitting here.
Oh yeah,
I didn't think he had that depth of.
We had Patty Cantlay on the
Didn't go well.
show, and it did not go well at all. He did not want to fall to our sophomoric level of hijinks, and it was uncomfortable.
Such is life.
And we sort of didn't want to
blew him
root
off.
for him anymore.
Yeah, and still don't.
Yeah,
And I'm fine with
Patty
that.
Cantlay.
Patty Cantlay improved on his lead yesterday, didn't he? Went from 2 to 3 shot lead.
I thought he went from 3 to 2.
No, he started. It was 10 and 8.
It was 10 and 8.
When it started.
Okay, he shot 3 under, and so
I think
he's
he's now got a
13
3.
and 10. Okay,
I think that's what it is.
Yeah. If he shoots like that, he'll win.
Sure.
Yeah.
You were talking about the Pitt booster
Yes.
sponsoring the head coaching position.
Mm-hmm.
And one Guggen, shout out to Taylor for sending this to me.
What up, Tater?
Screen cap the Notre Dame coaching staff page on their website.
Okay.
And let me tell you all about the Dick Corbett head football coach, Brian Kelly,
Oh, he's already got a name.
as well as the Bob Hinton defensive coordinator and linebackers
That's
coach,
stupid. What
the
is
John and Bobby Arlota family offensive coordinator, the Bob and Leslie Moore family defensive line coach, and the Pat and Jana Eilers defensive backs coach.
Only 100,000. You get special teams.
Well, you know what? I will say this. That's a perfect example that it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I mean, it depends on, quote, what you define as working.
I'll tell you what I define as work. When Notre Dame plays on national TV Sunday night, you tell me if any of these families and people names are mentioned when the coaching staff is. I say no.
I think it's just another avenue to get money for the school.
Well,
And
my point
maybe
is-
you get a kick out of seeing your name in the program. I don't know.
Maybe, but it's not worth the money. You're not getting any kind of
Well,
impact.
no, you're
out
not.
of it.
No, well,
Other
you're not-
than
I don't
an
think
ego
you're
stroke.
I don't think you're looking for impact. I think you're
I
looking for a
think
way
that
to
if-
contribute, and isn't this different?
Yeah, I think if
Now,
you want
is
to
he- is
put
he
your
wear-
name on another
Now,
person.
If Brian Kelly
Yeah.
comes out wearing a shirt of Billy Tuffle and a big face of Billy Tuffle on with the Irish logo, then you got something.
He comes out.
Yeah, I speak more to the utter arrogance of putting your name on a
big-
person's name.
I heart Dick Corbett shirt.
Yeah,
Yeah,
if you see
that's-
that,
that's
then
weak.
we got something.
That's weak.
Yeah, then we're cooking.
Shame on the schools
Cooking
for
with
doing
gas
it and
is
the
what we're
people
doing.
for doing it. That's just
All right.
silliness.
All right.
Imagine if you had to come in and say, "I'm Steve Buttes, Dan Hicken." I don't care how much
Hell
you
yes.
contribute.
He'd pay for
you
that.
don't want to
I
do
got
that.
$5.
Yes, he
right?
would.
I'm just going to
$5
listen.
American
I'm not going to
dollars.
throw. I'm as optimistic and hopeful about the Jaguars season as any.
Yes,
but
you
just let me
are.
be the first because I am the tight end whisperer. That congratulations, you went and signed Jeff Swaim, and no way at all have the Jags addressed the tight end
It wasn't
position.
Jeff Swaim. It was Hollister.
I'm saying
Jacob
that's what
Hollister.
you got. The same guy.
Yeah.
Same resume, same hope, same oh boy.
2.0.
No.
Wow.
You're going to go get a superstar. You're going to get him in the draft.
I don't think Jacksonville agrees with you. Our 1-to-1 financial poll question of the day. What tight end will lead the position in receptions this year? Is it Jimmy O'Shaughnessy? Is it Hollister? Is it Farrell? Or is it Manhertz? 300-plus votes at Dan Hicken if you would like to vote right now. And your current leader is O'Shaughnessy with 59. But right there in second place is Jake the Snake Hollister.
They're similar players, so
getting
they
a
should
getting a bunch of votes. 27.3. Manhurt's only 10, and the rookie only 3.5.
Oof.
Yeah, I think that I don't know where it's going to depend on. It's probably going to depend on injuries.
I'm frustrated by our tight end room, so.
Yeah, I mean, look, whatever. You got a tight end, you need a body, but again, I hope people aren't excited. This guy will give you 30 catches and a touchdown or two. I mean,
excited about everything, my friend.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this is not addressing the tight end position. This is just putting another one of the same level of tight end in the room with him.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a reason the Bills cut him. They needed tight end. They thought it was, they were signing a free agent edition. That didn't work.
One more question before we go to break and hand out a prize pack here.
Oh.
And I hate to do this to you, but I need to know if this is real or Memorex. So I'm going to need you to take the 3-foot walk. If this is the case,
Well, a lot of walking lately.
I know.
This is.
I've been a dog man forever.
Jeff's getting those steps in.
Jeff Prosser, but this is impressive. I need to know if this is real or not. This young lady, she's got a little chipper. Cat's there, right there, perched down. Cat goes up. Cat goes up and catches the golf ball with its front paws.
Cats are very.
She chips at the cat, and then she does it again. Cat perches down, goes up, and catches the golf ball.
That's real.
Yeah, that's a cat, man. They're used to trying to snatch birds out of the
That's
air.
what
man.
cats do.
Catching a golf ball is no big thing.
No biggie. That's impressive. Yeah. I'm still a dog guy, but that's impressive. I don't think Rock Dog's going to do that.
No.
You just go like this,
You
right?
chip one at Rock Dog, you can catch him in the face. It's
Right.
the end of
He's
Rock
going to run
Dog.
the other
Yeah.
way like you're trying to hit him.
Right.
Dog down!
Rock Dog.
All right, that's the 10-minute drill. We still got much more ahead of us
Rock
here
Dog
today.
puts the dumb in dumb. Let me tell you something.
We got a bleeder.
We'll break down the weekend from the quarterback perspective with Denny Thompson coming up at 8 o'clock.
Oh!
Jim Fjork join us on the phone at 9 o'clock.
Oh!
And the Friday 5-pack at 8:30.
Oh!
So we are.
Heck yeah. And right
we're
now
locked
we're
and
going to do
loaded.
caller number one. First off the rip, 641-1010. Beef, tell them what they're going to win.
Caller number one's going to go home with a 4-pack, a family 4-pack of vouchers to go catch the jumbo shrimp in action. They're home this weekend. And again, next week, the 7th through the 12th. Just final 3 homestands of the season, so still waning opportunity to see the shrimp in action down at 121 Financial Ballpark. So caller one will get a 4-pack to see the shrimp, and they'll also take home $25 to get their car cleaned up just right over at Scrubbles Car Wash.